1965, that's when they began with the forced labor camps. In 1965, they created military units to aid production. And it was called UMAP, 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 which are, what they did, those were camps created for those who applied for passports, those that were gay, political dissidents, and religious minorities, like priests. There were priests, ministers, Jehovah's Witnesses. They were all put in these camps. They were detained and they were forced to work. They were forced to hard labor, but also to physical and emotional abuses. These camps went on from 1965 till 1968. And there were 35,000 Cubans were enslaved there.
Oh my gosh.
In those camps. And they were confined to barracks surrounded by electric fences. Well, guess what? In 1968, June 21st, 1968, my father and I were taken to forced labor camps.
Oh my gosh.
And this one is also for those who apply for passports, who had the documentation to leave the country. So all of those were sent. My sister Marita didn't go because she had a baby. My mom didn't go because she had my two little sisters. My sister Margaret, I didn't tell you about that. My sister Margaret was able to leave in April 1968 to Mexico because she had a boyfriend and he was able to leave Cuba, and they were married, through documents. So he was able to get her out. But I went with her. He got me a visa through Mexico. When we went to the Mexican embassy to get the visa, my visa was denied. When we drove, we were going by bus. We went from Matanzas to Havana, where the embassy was. We were so happy and full of hope, and we are living together. And then we are pulling everybody out. And we were just dreaming and dreaming, the way back. Well, they said that, no, he's not your brother. He says he a brother-in-law. He's not your brother. Mm-hmm. He's brother-in-law. So they denied my visa.
How old were
you? 18, kind of, 18 or 19. Mm-hmm. So when we were coming back, we were just crying, holding each other. And then she said, I'm not leaving you behind. I'm not leaving my family behind. And we had to say, you have to leave. You have to leave because you have to help us out of this misery. So she left in April, and I was sent to the forced labor camp in June. So he would have gone, if he wouldn't have left, she would have sent to the camp too. So I spent 3 years in those forced labor camps. And I was able to get, some people sometimes got some camera in, and we were able to take some pictures. And so, like, this is one of the pictures. I can email them to you.
Yes, please do. And so in that picture, how old were you in that picture?
Well, this picture is August 1968, so it was the same year.
Right, you went in.
And this one here.
Oh, look at that.
So I have some pictures of this because one of the when at the beginning I was in. I wrote something that I don't want to read it. I can send it to you.
Okay.
Well, maybe I can
Decide.
read it. Okay, it says around 5 a.m. we were whistled to go out the barracks, standing in line to go to the dining room for breakfast. We were given a little bit of coffee made out of chickpeas roasted in a pan to give some color to the water. That was all. Then some of us proceeded to the wagons pulled by bulls to take us to the fields, and others were taken by trucks. We were to start working at 6 a.m. and continued until 6 p.m. Summers in Cuba are hot. The sun got very strong and it was very hot. We were assigned to different working areas and different working tasks. Mine was to cut malanga, which is like a potato, malanga strings, and put them in sacks. Malanga is a type of root vegetable grown in the Caribbean. The part of the plant that is eaten is the tuber, similar to a potato. These strings had to have a specific length, and we had to have 100 of them in the sack, no more or less. Otherwise, they will punish you by working longer hours in the field. That happened to my group when one of the communist leaders, Manuel, counted them at the end of the day, and we had to stay till we had 100 in each sack. Some sacks had 80 or little less than 100. You can lose count easily. You're cutting and you're putting them in there.
Right.
So when lunchtime came, we were again given a pitiful meal, yellow grits with weevils, like a little worms
Right.
inside. You were so hungry that you just pushed them to the side of your plate and kept eating. After that, again, back to the fields to continue the same task until 6 p.m. If it was raining, didn't matter. Raining or lightning, you stay in the field.
How many
And
days a week did you work?
how many, excuse me?
How many days a week did you work? Was this
5.
5 days a
5,
week? Okay.
yes.
Hmm.
And you had to, if it was raining, you stay. Didn't matter. Rain and rain, thundering, and they were in the truck laughing at us, or under the truck, the soldiers. They were watching you. And so I was there, but then I was there like almost a year. Then I was transferred. I got sick, so I was able to be transferred to the unit that you are able to sleep at home.
Oh, okay.
So that you will take the truck at 6 a.m. in the morning, and then you come back at home at 6 p.m. and then sleep, and then again, so at least I was able to do that because I was taking medications and I was under strict doctor's advice that I needed to be at home.
And you did that for 3 years?
3 years.
That's in
Began June 21st, and we were able to leave in June 21st, 1971.
3 years to the day.
Yeah. And the day that we the truck, I saw something is weird. The truck is leaving me in front of my home. That was weird. I said that's what, and all the neighbors were outside the house, and they go, Nery, Nery, you're leaving, Nery. Everybody was so happy, except the Committee of Defense of the Revolution. I had to tell you about that, the Committee of Defense of the Revolution. So The seal, they put a seal, the soldiers came earlier, my mom told me, and they sealed the house. They put a seal on the door. So you had to leave the house, and that was the 21st, and we left the 22nd the following day. So, and we only left with one changing of clothing. We were not allowed to take anything from the house. Everything was taken. So only one changing of clothing.